What up, TikTok? Hey, hope everybody's having a great Friday. Hey, don't let anything that's negative in your life dictate the rest of your life. Does that make sense? Hey, we all go through some hard times. We all go through some emotional stressors, maybe at work, maybe at home, whatever it may be. Don't let that dictate who you are and how you react to the rest of the things that life throws at you. Does that make sense? Like if you're feeling pissed off and angry all morning or all day, you're going to take that energy and you're going to present it to everybody else that surrounds you, your loved ones, your soldiers, whoever it may be. You're going to use that negative energy and it's just going to make everything worse. Try to be positive. Pick something positive in life that's going really well. Use that positive energy and let that dictate the rest of your day. We can harp on the negatives. We can harp on the bad things that are going on in life. It's not going to help us. It's not going to help us move forward. Stay strong, keep pushing, drive on. Happy Friday.
What's up, Trash Talkers? Hitting you up this morning with a special promo on how to dress when you are doing PT in civilians, but you want everybody to know you're an Army. This comes from the Buddy Beckwith fashion design of how to work out. So first, you can notice the RI panties. Not Ranger panties, but Ranger Instructor panties. The green socks, the knee brace for the old guys. Don't forget the M frames. Now the shirt, don't wear the Trash Talk shirt while you're running. This is just for the promo. You want to put on like an 80-second shirt or like your favorite airborne shirt so everybody knows that you're a veteran. That's the most important thing. And you start with this stretch. Buddy Beckwith taught me this one. Ready to go.
So, I'm walking out of the gas station and my co-worker, who's an old MP, but we still claim him, and he has engaged the man in conversation. Not much for conversation with strangers, but he's got the tab. So, as I walk by, I say airborne, and the man responds with, and I quote, "Hoorah." So, after I instructed my coworker to slash every single tire before he put the car in gear, I looked for the biggest rock. As I crow hop to throw it through his back window so he can stop posing as one of us, I actually wake up and realize that the man's ignorance had incapacitated me for a moment, and I was daydreaming. I mean, because in that moment you got two options. I chose the third option and said, "Incorrect. That's an incorrect response." And I kept walking. The man said nothing and he pulled away. So you tell me, what is it, a stolen valor thing? No Marine's gonna have an airborne tab, and no paratrooper's gonna say hidden hoorah. So you tell me, stolen valor?
Hey, y'all, going to work. I left you a note on the refrigerator. I love y'all. I'm gonna go.
Hey, go get dressed. Get ready for school.
You're doing great. I was tooling around, tooling along. Shit! Bad guys! Stop!
Let me break it down Barney style. Let me break it down Barney style.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, Joe, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
What's going on? That. Special guest today is Chico from Sun Vet. And today I'm joined by Nick, Buddy, and Joe. So to kick this dumpster fire off, we're going to talk about, we can call it a conspiracy. Some of you might believe it, some of you might not. but if anybody remembers the movie The Exorcist, okay, came out around 1973, I think. So the real situation actually happened in 1949 in Maryland, okay? And it didn't happen to a little girl. Like, I think the little girl in the movie was like 12 years old. It actually happened to a little boy, 14-year-old boy named Roland Doe. And so the story has it that he asked his aunt for a Ouija board. He could have a Ouija board for his birthday.
And there's the first fuck up.
That's where shit.
First messed up.
And no shit, like you just said, buddy. After he received this Ouija board, shit just went like haywire. So there were like sounds in the house, like knocking on windows, stuff like just flying off of tables and stuff. You could hear screaming at night, and then his voice like started changing. So like kind of like in the movie where she's like, his voice changed and everything. And then all these like red scratches started to occur on his back. So like all kinds of just bad shit. So the family brought in like the local Catholic priest who tried to work on this kid, perform the exorcism. And basically the priest is just like, fuck that. I can't touch this because Roland ripped off a piece of mattress spring and apparently like started beating him with it or like throwing it at him. So like he left. And then long story short, like a couple months later, they found two priests that came in and were then able to perform this exorcism. And he was good to go after that. Story has it, he obviously kept quiet with who he was. You know, the movie didn't really say who he was, but he ended up working for NASA, and he was actually part of the team for the first moon landing. All right. Not on the actual rocket, but back at NASA and stuff. And then I think he died in like 2020. So my take on all of this, I 100% believe in that shit. I had a Ouija board growing up, and in Germany, buddy. That's where I grew up. I just wanted to let you know that, just in case you forgot.
The Ouija board, who made that? Was that Hasbro or Mattel?
It was what's the other famous toy company?
I'm just wondering which one of those evil corporations is responsible.
Yeah, because you could literally buy it in fucking Toys R Us.
America having to go to a therapist in the 1980s.
So, long story short, I used to play with that thing.
I
used to play with that thing, and I don't know. I saw some weird shit. Like my cat in the house started like freaking out when we were playing and started hissing and stuff. And it was like my close friend. We
just
used to
like
play
Shroom,
it.
David ate the cat.
No, I wasn't on drugs, man.
Ate the catnip.
I was like 14 years old, and then you'd like feel this cold air coming up, and like my buddy and I were like, "Hey, you're not moving this shit, right?" Like we trusted each other, and this thing would just move, and we used to speak to the same ghost, and then we kind of like said, "Fuck, this is getting too weird," and we threw the board away. So I personally believe that this 100% happened. That this young boy was possessed by a demon or by the devil. And yeah, that's my take on it. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Chico. Kind of give us what your take. Do you think this was a real thing? Demon, spirits, devil, drugs, as Joe usually says. But the kid was 14. Let's just hope that back then, in 1949, he wasn't too high.
Just make sure your answer is accurate and factual.
Yeah,
that's it. 100% plausible. Put it that way. That's the lawyer answer. And yes, for simple. Probably, yeah. But somewhere in between drugs and all that, though, because, like, you don't know what neighbors saw and what they were under, right? But, like, oh, yeah, spiritual over religion. That's my whole kind of, where Islam, Judaism, Christianity probably talking the same thing back before the telephone game. You know what I mean? Didn't understand, we were all like, there's a flood and who knows. But, yeah, for sure. Don't mess with spirit. I done took the left because, like, I had a hunch and didn't blow up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Plenty of times to know. Yeah, you know what I mean?
So it was definitely a spirit. He was possessed by something.
Something.
Okay. All right.
I'm about
Good
that
take.
life.
Good take.
Yeah, hey guys, we're not really showing anything on the screen right now, but we'll get over it here in a second.
Yeah, we're good. Buddy, what's your take?
I have two problems with the entire thing. First of all, when I was a kid, I said something about getting a Ouija board, and I thought my dad was gonna like knock me out, like straight up, and I didn't get it. Now I get it. Like, why would you, even if you didn't believe it or you were on the fence, like why would you fuck with that?
Yeah.
Why would you invite that?
What do you gain?
Like you're not getting anything out of it. All you're doing is like, even if it's like a 2% chance that shit's real, nah. Like
You kind of play with fire, even if it's 2%. Yeah.
Just fucking around, just letting whatever come through. Nah. No, sir. I'm not good with it. I'm not good at all. Secondly, Yeah, I mean, exorcisms happen all over the place, and it's a real thing. I had
weren't they illegal in like England for a while? Like I'd have to Google that.
I don't know if they were illegal.
Yeah.
I know that, but it doesn't matter. Exorcisms are Catholic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the Native Americans have their own.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
They have their own cleansing rituals. Almost every religion has its own
Yep.
cleansing rituals,
Yep.
to like using sage or whatever to cleanse your house. So
Yep.
if that many different cultures have come up with the same exact type of like then it came from somewhere. Like
100%.
I think
like,
stories told over time are more important than stories that are trending. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's a whole
Exactly.
conversation in itself when you want to talk about religion, because they're all tied in with each other anyway. You know, like let's be
and
real.
it's like the exorcisms, the stigmatas that have happened, like Jesus showing up at the toast. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
Like I don't know. It's just not something I'm trying to. Like I have a buddy that's got a house that's fucking legit haunted.
Yeah.
And like we were fucking around at one point, just joking about the ghost, and a fucking liquor bottle. He had a bunch of empty liquor bottles on the splat refrigerator, and one of them legitimately flew off and landed on the ground, and
Fuck
nobody
that.
was over there or moving. And we all went, "Oh, sorry, Jack Teasley. Like we're just joking. We love your house. Everything's great. You're awesome. Really love what the new people have done with the place that you've been gone. Yeah, nah, I'm not.
It's a real thing. Like I'm going through my real estate license right now. And one of the things is
live in a house that's like a few hundred. Like if the house is like 100 years old, nah, dude, I ain't living in it.
Dude, one of the things on there is if you have to disclose a haunted house or not to your clients. Like it's actually like it's presented to you because fucking haunted houses are a real thing, you know?
If you just had a murder go down in it, is that haunted?
No,
Dude,
no.
I lived in a house. I lived in a house when I was at Fort Bragg at one point. I rented a house, and I always got the creepiest fucking feelings in this house. Not that like, but it was always like I was being watched. It was super fucking weird. Never had that feeling in any other house. About a month before I moved out, I talked to one of the neighbors who was actually the brother of the person that had lived in that house before. The dude killed himself in the house, and they had never said anything, but it was the fucking eeriest house. Like nothing ever happened. It just always felt like you were being watched. Like it's a real thing. Nah,
I agree.
No, I'm
good. Don't fuck with it. Joe, what's your take on it, brother?
Yeah, I believe in it. Yeah. It's too many stories, too many people. I think of one in particular, and it's a shame that I don't have the location, but the story is it was a covered bridge. It was in the country, it's in the United States, but it's in the upper northeast, and I cannot remember where. But it's a covered bridge, like something back.
Are you telling us about the headless horseman, Joe?
Negative.
Are you about to tell us?
Not that far back. Not that far back.
Spooky Hollow
this
thing,
girl was taken to this covered bridge by a group of boys and assaulted and murdered. And they say that any male that gets caught there on that bridge after dark has had some kind of experience. And so these two guys, these ghost hunters, there was a believer and a non-believer, and the guy went out there and said her name and said, "How's it feel to be dead?" And the story he told after that for 6 months of the haunting that he went through therapy, like had a complete mental breakdown, said he was getting physical scratches.
Oh, shit.
Like this dude was not making this up. It legitimately, like he went through this haunting because he taunted this ghost. So like Buddy says, I don't know how much I'm a visual believer, but why fuck with it?
Yeah.
Like first of all, posthumously, I have enough respect for the dead without being like Buzz Killington, the serious person. I have enough respect for the dead to not like fuck with it and taunt it, disrespect that. But like the Ouija board is not dude, like, no, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Like, it ain't gonna be in my house, not gonna happen. Because what good's gonna come of it? You ever seen a little kid playing with a Ouija board and had to be like, hey, like last week I had no friends, but now I got this ghost. We both like, it's not gonna happen. Nothing good's coming out of it. So
I mean, I had fun when I played with it, but then it started getting weird, and I was like, yeah, no, fuck this shit, and then we just threw it away. But it was cool, man, because we would talk into this.
Know that you can throw them away. I thought you were supposed to like get.
You're like supposed to burn them and all that shit, but we didn't do none of that. I just threw it in the trash, man. But we were talking to this guy named, and my boy Charlie, if he's watching, I know he watches this. I used to play with him, and we were talking to this guy named Ham, and he died in World War II. He was a German soldier, and he was like cool. He'd always come back and talk to us. Like it was just a weird experience. But then, like I said, it just started to get a little weird. Like you could feel cold air and shit, and we're like, "Fuck this shit, man. We're done." And then obviously my cat was hissing, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, we're not doing this anymore." So yeah, I'm not gonna touch that shit either ever again.
When the cat starts doing the
yeah, dude.
down.
And he was like
Cool it
running
down.
around in the living room and shit.
Shut
You
it
know, like
down.
fuck
That
off,
thing's
no.
about to go on its back legs, start
Yeah, dude, and that's
shit
another
myself
thing.
and have nightmares for a month.
Like
Just
I
shut it down.
100% believe that fucking animals can see like fucking
Dude,
100%, dude.
shit. Yeah,
100%.
If not, they're
fucking
tremendous
creepy.
actors, and they are much smarter than us and really
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
Shoulder
I'm good on all of that.
No, I
You guys
agree.
can have the Ouija boards and the exorcisms and nope.
I'm gonna watch. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the ball game.
All right, Nick.
It was
What do you got, Nick?
Well, first of all, I needed an old priest and a young priest right now to figure out this streaming shit. All right, so we bought this super expensive laptop that Muffin Fingers, who's in his little stupid pool league right now, and he, our producer, and he's trying to, he's mad because he says I made him lost because I'm calling him on how to stream. So right now it's just going to the speaker. So don't worry, guys. If you don't watch it, we get a lot more downloads anyways on our podcast platform, Apple, all that kind of stuff. So just go to that. But anyways, it is what it is. I believe in demons. I think we all have them. I think I think some people need to get their shit kicked out of them, to get it out of them, whatever has to happen. Maybe some holy water thrown on them. I don't know. But yeah, I'm with Buddy on that. It's like, why take the chance?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Didn't you like study religion in college? Don't you have like I forgot what your first degree was.
No. I just had a minor in it.
Okay, that's what I
And
thought.
and,
I there's something tied to it. Yeah.
The nature of Christianity.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting. Well, that's a good take. So I think Joe, you're up for a soapbox today.
You know what? It's funny that you say that because we were going back and forth, and Buddy said, Joe, if you don't have anything, I do. And I've got something, but I asked him what he had, and I thought, all right, I'm gonna make mine short and pass it over to Buddy. Because when I said I've got something, Buddy waited 6 hours and came back with, is it an STD? And I thought it was a beautiful response because all I said was,
saw that.
I've got something. But no, I was actually approached by a veteran, and we were doing the little, summer bash thing at my daughter's elementary school, and we were talking, and I told him who a couple of our sponsors were, and he was a little on the softer side, and he said, do you guys feel like it's irresponsible because so many alcohol-related deaths are, involved with soldier suicide to push that you're sponsored by a distillery? And I said,
Right.
I said no, and let me tell you why.
I've got that too.
2 weeks ago, give or take a few days, we were in Colorado, and I got to sit with the guys from 10th Mountain. They're not veterans, and I can tell you one thing: sitting there talking with Ryan, and the love that you get from those guys, it's so freaking humbling, man. They treat you like you're a freaking rock star. It's like you almost don't feel worthy of it. And I can tell you right now, that guy would rather go broke than see his product abused and do damage to veterans' lives.
Yep.
That's how much he loves and cares about the mission. Okay, what we are saying is not, hey, everybody that comes to that door, grab a drink. No, what we are saying is, if you're gonna drink, if you're gonna go get yourself a good bottle of bourbon, then give that money to a veteran-owned company. That's what we're saying. We're promoting our brothers. If Ryan and them made window covers, we push window covers, because it's part of our mission. We're gonna push every veteran-owned business that wants to be a part of this, and they've been on from day one. They're not even veteran-owned, but they understand the mission. So what we are saying is, if you want to have a drink, there's plenty of veterans out there in this country that are making it just as good as you can get from anywhere else, and they need your money. So give your money to a veteran-owned company. We're not saying grab a drink or you can't sit at this table.
Be responsible about it. Don't drink like Buddy
right now,
because he starts sending you dick pics at like 2 a.m. Just don't do what Buddy does.
Don't be a buddy.
We're 100% comfortable with pushing those guys, because it's not about
like Richard
having a drink to sit with us. It's about, if you're gonna have a drink and be responsible about it, then buy from a veteran, just like every other thing that we push. So having said that, I think Buddy's got a really good honesty cap. And so Like we're on the floor in some political forum, I'm gonna cede my next 2 minutes to the senator from Alabama.
Red, real quick, buddy. Red says, Joe, you and those shades. I don't know if you know Red. Lesney.
I know Red. What's up, brother?
Yeah. All right. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you, buddy. Go for it.
He's all right.
No. So first of all, to caveat, it would behoove people to listen to what I'm about to say. Anyway, to caveat off what Joe said, yeah, just because we're sponsored by a liquor company, right? Like anything in moderation is fine. If you have a glass of really good bourbon while you're bullshitting with your boys, that's fine. If you chug a bottle of fucking like goddamn rubbing alcohol, that's not good. In order to fucking deal, okay, first of all, if you ever say another bad thing about cordial, Joe, I'll fucking come through the screen. The real thing. But yeah, anything in moderation is fine. Like if we were sponsored by McDonald's, more deaths happen because of fucking obesity in this country than anything else. And you're fine with fucking going to get 5 Big Macs for $3. Like, shut the fuck up. Like,
but you're drinking a diet. You're drinking a Diet Coke, so it's not that bad.
Yeah. Like
Buddy,
moderation is key.
Buddy, I got a feeling we're leading into something about how, just because something killed somebody, let's ban it all. I don't know. It's kind of a gray brush that I'm painting with, but I think you got something to say.
We had this whole era in the United States where we tried to ban something that people could make on their own, alcohol, right? And that just caused a giant criminal enterprise, a bunch of people making moonshine and shit on their own, a bunch of deaths from making poor quality liquors and all that stuff.
Going blind and shit when you drink it.
Now, fast forward just over 100 years, we have decided, because there was a school shooting, and I will give you the normal. It's tragic that a maniac went into a school and killed 18 children. It is. It shouldn't have to be said, but it seems like on social media you have to give your lead-in has to be it's tragic. Got it. It's tragic that a bunch of children were killed. It's tragic when anyone dies. But everything that I have seen in the last week and a half has been blaming the gun, blaming the bullets, blaming the teacher that left the door open, blaming the police officers because they didn't go in time, blaming all of these things. And very few people are blaming the fucking maniac that went into a school after shooting his grandmother and fucking killed a bunch of kids. And now that our fucking go-to for any time something like that happens is that we need to ban military style weapons. First of all, muskets are fucking military style weapons. Like at some point, people have used every type of weapon in the military. Like it's happened. All the technology for building and making new weapons came from the military. The same as the technology for prosthetics has generally come from wars and people getting their legs and arms blown off. But they're not military style fucking prosthetic legs. They're just prosthetic legs. But because they're weapons, they're military style weapons. And then we say that we need to ban them. Well, there are a couple problems with banning weapons that people don't want to freaking look at. First of all, if you ban guns, all you're doing is making a giant group of the American population into criminals because they're not going to give them up. Secondly, there is absolutely no way to go house to house and clear every house in the United States and get all of the guns.
We have like 300 and we have like 400 million guns if you include law enforcement. Like that's a lot of fucking guns. Yeah.
And then you can't take that genie out of the bottle. You can't de-invent guns. Third thing, you can fucking print guns now. You can go, anybody with a CNC machine can make an upper and a lower. You can actually print out guns, and with handguns, you could print out a whole thing, just slide a pistol in, and it becomes an assault weapon. It's not hard to make them. You don't have to go anywhere to get a gun. You can make guns. And I heard this. Somebody came up with a great thought. they talked about getting rid of guns and how all of these other countries, which is a soapbox I'm about to jump on, how all these other countries got rid of guns, like Ireland and England and all that other stuff. But you know what they have had a problem with since they got rid of guns? You know what's easier to make than a gun?
Bombs.
Things that go boom, things that blow up, chemicals, things that you could put in subways, i.e., China and Japan. Bombs like they had in Ireland with the IRA. In Boston.
That's a fucked up terrorist organization right there. But yeah.
Exactly. Like the people that want to commit crimes, and your plan is to make a law that makes weapons illegal. Murder is fucking illegal.
Has been.
Would you honestly believe that the guy that was going in that school had AR-15s been illegal for 18-year-olds would have been like, I'm gonna go kill a bunch of children. Fuck.
Can't do it with an AR because I'm only 18.
My limit for law breaking is only one law. I can't break two laws. I was just gonna murder. I'm not gonna do. It's the craziest logic that's ever happened. Now,
no, not the craziest.
Buddy. Wait 1 second, because this one gonna hit a little close to home for you, Mister. I'm from Germany. If I hear another fucking European or American expat who lives in Europe talk about what Europeans think about America, first of all,
fuck off. Yeah.
I'm American, motherfucker.
Well, no, you still have a country because of America.
That's a big old fucking fat one. We don't care. And all you fucking expats that move to fucking England or Ireland or another homogeneously white community in a first world country, shut the fuck up. Nobody gives a fuck. Fuck you. Fuck the country you fucking moved to. I hope you don't fucking come back to visit. We don't give a shit. Be happy there. Be happy there with your no guns, with your fucking 51% taxes, with your fucking goddamn failed European Union. Fuck you and everything else. Fuck you and you're being fucking subservient to Russia and their fucking oil. Fuck you.
When he said 10 times over.
You gotta finish that sentence with America.
And the fact that you're one of those people that will go from one.
What do you mean those people?
To another third world country.
About to cross fucking line.
About to cross motherfucking line.
I don't break character till the DVD comes out.
Then you're quote unquote worldly. You're not fucking worldly. Go to fucking Africa. Go to a third world country and talk to them about how they should have fucking healthcare. The healthcare they have there is getting a poultice made out of fucking kangaroo shit and fucking cactuses shoved into their fucking orifices when they're sick, dipshit. Oh,
damn.
Suck a fucking fat dick. Go to a fucking real fucking country. Go to a real shitty country. Go to a country where they have it, but where they're not all they don't all look like you and act like you. Oh, we're in Europe and we're fucking we have all of this fucking ability to just because everybody fucking looks the same and acts the same, dickhead. We're the goddamn melting pot of the entire world. And we get along contrary to what the fucking media and everybody else will tell you. When I walk around in the South, you don't see a whole lot of people fucking grabbing motherfuckers up and lynching them. You don't see a motherfucker, like, people treat people with respect, generally speaking.
Yes.
It's not like the fucking TV or the movies or your little 3-minute TikTok clip or little segment where you're acting like everybody's fucking out to get you. People in the United States treat other people well. You can tell because every time there's a disaster, people from all over the country come to fucking help out without fucking getting paid for it. So, that being said, keep your fucking opinion to yourself because we don't give.
Well, that's not very American, buddy. If you have to keep your opinion to yourself.
It is actually super fucking.
No, that's super European where you can't talk.
I got 2 points. And I agree with everything you said, buddy. So don't
everything to include the cactus up the orifices.
Kangaroo shit.
For the most part. So one, I haven't followed this last shooting as much because it was a fucking tragedy. It was horrible. Like I think of my kids and stuff being in school. But like the pharmaceutical industry needs to get attacked. We never talk about that. And these kids being pumped up with all kinds of medication, and then they're psycho. But we don't want to attack them because there's too much money in that. Second point is, and this is just a question, all right? So don't get fucking triggered. Do you think that there should be any, or would you be willing to have any type of reform? I'm not
No,
saying
get the fuck out of
guns.
here.
I'm not saying ban guns. I'm saying like 18-year-olds like who can't even drink can buy an AR or a Glock. Like, this is a serious question.
Hey, did you know how many 18-year-olds I knew that drank when it was against the law?
I grew up in Germany. I'll remind you, I was drinking at 14. But
yeah, and you lost fucking World War to people who didn't drink.
I didn't lose any fucking war.
Hold on.
Personally, did not lose any war.
To your
Just a
point,
question.
Dave.
Just a question.
Once you sacrifice security for safety, you lose both.
You know what I noticed in Germany is that there were,
and I'm not comparing it to Germany, brother.
No.
As you shouldn't.
There were 14 and 15-year-olds that were drinking, but they didn't make an issue out of drinking, so they didn't go out and drink a fucking 12-pack of beer and get fucking retarded. They drank a beer on their way home from school, talking to their boys, and then they went home and did their homework.
Right.
You know, they didn't make it a big deal, so it wasn't a big deal. It's the same thing with alcohol, same thing with guns, same thing with anything else. But no, I 100% would not be down for any type of reform. And here's why I would not be down with any type of reform. People keep going to the Second Amendment who apparently don't know how to read English good, right?
Very good. Gooder.
Plain English. It's broken into 4 segments, really 2. The first 2 segments are the why, and the second segment is directive. And it says that citizens of the United States will have no infringement on their right to keep and bear arms. The reason they will have no infringement on their right to keep and bear arms, and no infringement means no, means none, zero, zilch, nada, zebra, none, nothing, not a bit of infringement, which we already have, but it is what that's a fight for later on. That being said, it says no infringement on your rights, because when it comes time to make a well-regulated militia, it's too late to arm a well-regulated militia. It's also too late to train a well-regulated militia.
Right.
Should
Let's
be.
just say, though, that is the dumbest thing ever, because then we should be allowed to have tanks and shit. Because if the government, military, wanted to take over, like, your AR-15 is not going to do anything.
Dave, that talking point doesn't work, and Ukraine's proving you wrong right now. That's one. Two. No. What you just said was dumb. Hey, let me say something. What you said was dumb. What you said was dumb. What you said was dumb.
Now we're looking at shit. Yeah. Back in the day with muskets and shit.
No, what you said was dumb. You think, see what you just did, because what you just said is the military has tanks and planes. Who the fuck is in the military, Dave? American citizens. So if you think they said, hey, go fucking murk all of San Diego, all right, I'm not going to go do it.
No,
I'm going to take my fucking tank and I'm going to turn around. So your point is stupid. We are no, because we are the military. It's American citizens. We are the military, right? So yeah, it's like oh, we have tanks. We have tanks. What the fuck? Did you watch?
Oh my god.
All right. Anyways, this is a good segue, because like he just watched CNN and brought that talking point up. Well, cool. Thanks, Rachel Maddow. Thanks, Rachel Maddow.
Oh my god. Whenever
what? You had your time to talk, buddy.
I know. Now I'm trying to calm your fucking ass down.
Does DNI give me that? Like,
you get to come in too, brother. You get to come in too.
I'm gonna say
get lit.
Original question: are we good with receiving money from alcohol? I'm one cancer and light-skinned, so I'm super sensitive, especially to alcohol. And so, like with that, whoever asked, "What's your insecurity? What are you worried about? Where the money came from?" If that's the insecurity, then why aren't you asking where the political money comes from and all that other shit? This entity's here trying to do something good. Like, so if the money coming from alcohol, what's the standard? Legal? Is alcohol legal? Shut up. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Now we're talking about how we consume alcohol. Okay, got it, Raj. And I'm going to flip it. When you get a DUI in the Army, it suffers the mental health at large to get blackballed after 19 years and fucking 12 months of doing something good for your country and blowing .01 on base and getting shipped out, blowing up on the first mission. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But if they're going to ask why you're asking that, and then, okay, what's the standard? Just like you do when you say effective immediately, women are integrated into combat arms. What's the standard? All right. and then we go there. So where we get to, I don't know where we got here, but the common ground is Sandy Hook. That's a tragedy. I heard what I didn't hear.
There's a conspiracy behind that one too, but we won't get into that right now.
Tragedy, and then we do agree. I think if we got to the point that there's too many tragedies, where people divert is how to fix that problem, what to do about it. And vets prove that we can disagree without being disagreeable, and that has nothing to do with being vocal. Like that is irrelevant.
Nick will just call you an idiot.
Well, you think the military is going to just shoot down cities in America
Well,
because
I
that's
never
your
said they
that's
were.
your point.
If you-
That's your point.
if you would
You're
pay
saying that we
attention
should
and
have
listen to
tanks.
what I was
No,
saying.
you said a talking point. That's what talking points do. Talking points are not
Okay, but-
specific
but-
enough.
but
They're not
you didn't even let
specific.
me finish.
It's a broad
Oh my
thing,
God.
and you're dumb.
Oh my God.
Go back
That's
to
what they
Germany.
do. When they lose an argument, they just scream over you.
No,
So
no, no,
shut
no,
up,
no,
Nick.
no, no, no,
Back
no.
to
You
you.
shut
Back
up.
to you.
You shut up. Why don't you go back to Germany with the best education system in the world?
Here's the reason.
Back to back, baby. Back to
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Who,
See, that's America.
What happened?
Anyhow.
What happened in Afghanistan with all our?
Oh, should we be serious, Dave? Should we get into a really good conversation and not have fun on the show? Is that
Jesus, Nick, did I get you
okay?
that triggered,
Is
bro?
that
Calm down.
okay?
It's okay, bro.
Do I not do this every show, Dave?
He was already having a bad day.
I'm already having a
He
bad
is, he
day.
is.
Already having a bad day with Muffin Fingers not being here, right? And then you release a
Oh,
Rachel Maddow
shit.
talking point, right? And then it's like, hey, we should have tanks too then because the government has them. No, we have them. We already have tanks.
Oh my God.
We pay for tanks.
Oh
They
my
are our
God.
tanks anyways. So they are our planes. We paid for them.
Buddy, I think you knew where I was going with that. I know that the military would do that shit.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem.
Nick's missing the whole point.
No, you don't have a point. You have a talking point.
No, yes,
to talk
Nick,
about that talking
just
point
is not getting into your head. But anyway,
Because my head's way too complex for your stupid talking point. Anyways, hey, no, this is a good segue. This is a really good. This is a really. Hey, you insulted me first. So hey, you started it. All right, you threw the first stone. You threw the first stone. No, hey, good segue. Good segue. Shut up, buddy. Shut up. But no, you don't. No, you don't, buddy. I'll kick you out of the damn meeting. All right. So hey. No. You can talk about it at the end. Do the AAR, buddy. Do it at the AAR. All right. So we have a guest. We have a guest. His name is Chico. His name is Chico. Okay. And
Chico.
And Chico is a former Army officer. All right. That like I don't know if it's like in like the officer code that they want to walk a long way. All right. So he decided he wanted to walk the Appalachian Trail. All right. Now, the enlisted guys, they go over the Rockies. That's all I'm saying. We got Kyle going over the Rockies. Right. You know, he's not wasting his time. All right. On the Appalachians. No, but anyways, if you go to his if you go to his website, son.vet, right? son.vet, you can read all about how he started his mission, why he did, but he's going to tell you straight up. And like we do on Veteran Trash Talk, we like to bring on some of these nonprofits. We like to bring on people who are trying to make a difference, and then you get to meet them in person. All right. And so when they talk and they say stuff, all right, if you don't like them, don't give them any money. All right. Don't donate. If you like them, donate. All right. If you like his cause, if you like how they're helping things out. So Chico, welcome to the Trash Talk Hour. Welcome to the Dumpster Fire. And tell us what you know about your service, what you started doing, why you started doing it. The floor is yours, brother.
All right. Are any crusty old ass NCOs familiar with Star Major Strictly Cookies? Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Bet. Listeners that don't know me, like that's a mnemonic for op order. So I'm gonna pitch an op order: situation, mission, execution, service and support, command and signal. I'm going to utilize that so we got a common language, man. Technically, I'm briefing a Florida RI who already told me that he's going to fuck me up if I get a no-go. And as long as Greg Washington, which is like 17 minutes. I'm going to do it faster, trying to go for like 14 with them bashing me the whole time. And they call it Appalachian. I call it Trump country. I don't know what you call it, but I call it real honest people that like were my trail angels the whole route down. So Vicinity episode 54, they had their last Juneteenth candidate, Greg Washington, on who walked 1,800 miles northbound. He went from, Mount Bayou, Louisiana, and to prioritize veteran mental health, and he did it with authenticity. Pull out pen and paper, create a copy, hold all questions till the end. So the situation, those who don't know me, at some extent, I am a slave mixed with a slave master, operationalized for war, and then asked to calm that shit down to become a civilian. And if you've read or heard about the following, I'm somewhere between J.D. Vance's Hillbilly Elegy, Thomas Chatterton's Self-Portrait on Black and White, or David Goggin with regard to perseverance and grit when he describes It Can't Hurt Me. But somewhere along the way, I got Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Jay Bailey, Malcolm Gladwell as my spirit animals. That means that officer side, I like to make things too complex. Literally and further, I'm a consequence of Decatur, Georgia, along with my sister who invested into this fearful youth of me and gave me a chance. I got a debt to repay. I literally just landed at 3 p.m. from Washington, D.C., where I attended the funeral of Sergeant First Class Zach Brown. And he continues to coach and mentor me even after.
Salute to him, brother.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
His family gave me the clearance that I could show up about 48 hours ago. My job supported. I got the opportunity to speak, and I shared with that family that Zach single-handedly made my soul feel comfortable when our journeys crossed paths with regard to imposter syndrome, the real shit, like the shit we don't put in Black Hawk Down. And then being in the right place at the right time, that serendipitous spiritual shit. In short, we both agreed poor is poor. That the cousin of the poor urban minority is the rural poor majority. A place where that shit becomes alchemy is in the infantry. And where those without resources fight on behalf of those well endowed.
Yep.
Who generally lack any allowance of their own skin to get partake in this game we call the defense of our collective American dream or consciousness, social fabric, whatever you call it. So grunts, don't get the shit twisted. Always remember, a solid method to win is at scale is to divide and conquer. Yesterday's celebration of Zach, that was a spiritual uplifting, as dark as his humor was, in the moments of solace that only veterans like us comprehend. His spirit must have gotten in my damn head, kind of like the Exorcist shit we were talking about earlier, because on the ride home, I literally just changed it up, and this is what you got. Before we move forward, I need you to just understand 3 points that we can disagree, but you just got to ride with me for the whole shit that makes sense.
You got it.
I can be empathetic to a woman if we have shared common ground, but I can't be empathetic to carrying a baby unless I'm talking about like carrying a rucksack on the front. And that's sympathy. It's not empathy. And so I can't say I understand to a woman, right? On like what that is. Number 2, Greg Washington's view on death. Zach Brown died once in the physical form, but the last time we say his name is the last time he really dies. Number 3, triangle of isolation, financial stress, and toxic relationship is what Greg Washington kind of coined as complex grief, and we just got more of it. And we're not like so inclined to go talk. That's it. That's the whole fucking game. With that being said, first I'm gonna give you the officer version, then fucking Zach's gonna do an exorcism on my ass, and I'm gonna give you the NCO version. Somewhere in between, you can decipher the truth. Charlie Mike, carry on. Once you figure that shit out, pass it on. Situation done. Mission. I'm talking to Zach on the plane ride home. No shit. Project Something Out of Nothing, a Project 501c3 Toughest Kids initiative, served as a veteran mental health change agent, professional advocate, aspiring to lever my unique journey to influence Americans at large to gain perspective, knowledge, and understanding, believing that empathy and not sympathy will bond tighter and unify the social fabric. I note that I didn't say love. We don't need love. We need empathy. The Army generates empathy at scale by doing this whole Spirit of Corps exercise, camaraderie, which is nothing more than hardship plus proximity, basic, ranger, whatever fuck you went through. 2 variables veterans connect through, and it allows us to distinguish the entitlements of life, like politics and mask wearing shit and gun rights and whatever the fuck, and agree on tragedy and all is fair in love and war. And because literally pledged, we all pledged that we'll die, and the need to allow people to keep that entitled argument going. The American dream melting pot. And we're history to report that Rome had 22 Roman soldiers a day incomprehensibly take their own fucking life. The benefit of like posterity in the movie Tenet sense, that hindsight that we give, I believe would say, what's the invisible obvious? We'd be able to look back in the future and say, maybe there's a tear in the social fabric. Maybe then American leaders should mirror its true form and lead society to mend the tear with an objective moral compass. Like, win the fight, hire your enemies, let's go. You know, like to give you counsel to make sure your shit makes sense. I think that, you know, my draftee father came back from Vietnam and he was thought down on by a great place for black people now, Atlanta. After returning from war, man, to the point that he couldn't find a livelihood, he served a hellacious cause, right? And then that black father of mine couldn't get a fair shot in the army at that time because of the basics of empathetic leadership weren't developed, man. That whole NCO and officer merge, like Justin, before we got on the thing, like so much so that my platoon sergeant rode the Appalachian Trail with me, right? That selfless servitude, in my opinion, it wasn't there back then. But today's American veteran like us, we're the most inclusive group, subsequent only to the parent category of American. I'm gonna state it differently. American veterans are the most inclusive category of humans, less simply describing a group of humans as American. And what can we do? All right, cool. Veteran mental health could be prioritized collectively by 1, reflecting the void in our social fabric, 2, proactively prioritizing resources to generate veteran connectedness like you guys. 3, shaping conditions to mental health in both veteran and similarly situated first responder communities. And 4, scholastically shape the fundamental national interest that is veteran mental health. Like, why is the VA the only one counting? Seriously, I thought it was a priority. National interest type. So execution. This is when Zach was like, shut the fuck up. He gave me that long, like, sir, like that impolite kind of shit. Just tell me what you want me to do to stay present and maintain. Fuck me. I didn't say it, but in my soul went Wilco, right? 1, I never envisioned living past 18. I keep waking up on the right side of the ground. I'm grateful for what's in my life. What's in my life? Gratitude through obfuscation. Every time I hit a fucking woe is me, man, like that low point, you know, and I can't see the peak, it's in the clouds. My transition game is sick. Spiritually, they call it alchemy. Academically, they call it transmutation. The new trend, they call it mindfulness. Quakers call it gratitude, whatever, inner light shit. Where did I get it from? One little short stint I had in a children's home. Kids, 16-year-old black kid, Atlanta's dad coming to freaking pick him up. Biological son. This is lottery ticket shit. Kills himself, walks across 285, eats an 18-wheeler, go. The judge that was sitting on my case took me in, gave me a book called A Million Little Pieces about a heroin addict. You remember Requiem for a Dream? That book, putting his life back together. Dude, up until I was 32, I blamed myself because I got to read the file as an intern for the City of Decatur Police Department when he committed suicide. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, oh shit, if I put it together, whoa. But 32 is when I kind of let that child, you know, gave him some grace. The colonel, you know, who walked me through, is #1 in the nation to go do these speeches at the Under Armour All-American Bowl, whatever. Him killing himself, man, that was the one that like was fucked. And that was about the 22 a day time frame. And I can't do shit. We're federal, man. The community that invested in me on the positive note, man. Decatur, the people, the dude that lives on the couch at your house when he grew up. The 40 plus young men and women that I actively coach, mentor, train right now. My father, who taught me let a sleeping dog lie. You got to play to win. Get on these podcasts. First one today. And when I eat, everyone eats. You know, transmutation. You know, officers eat last type shit, right? And then when I heard him, and then #1 in the nation shit, everybody kept asking how. And instead of saying Sergeant First Class Lead NCO ER my packet, I said a man's success is measured by his ability to reject mediocrity. Fuck status quo. So Zach, you are now my last fucking point of gratitude. And there's so many people that came before you, man. I take presence seriously, if you can't tell, by way of example, with regard to my first life, infantry officer, third ID type, IBOLIC trainer type on the back end that helped to make the plan to integrate women in. I was completely content with retiring, man. And I subordinated that desire to meet the aspiration of being present husband and father, dude. I went all in, chips in. And at a significant emotional event #7, the domino that goes next to like, you know, Afghanistan, Iraq, childhood trauma shit. I didn't give up on the mission statement. I just kind of perforated husband and father and focused on being present. Whoa, I consolidated my fields of fucking fire, Zach. That's what I need you to do, man. Next life, reincarnated type, because that, you know, it makes me feel better to know you get another shot. And if cats do, fuck it, right? Why not him? And I don't entertain regret. That's baggage. I got too much baggage. Life is suffering, man. Focus every day to be present. No longer present husband, got it, father. Generate presence in general. And 2 life hacks I got from Alcohol Anonymous, since we're sponsored, right? Don't lean too far forward into the future. It spells out anxiety 1 letter at a time. Don't lean back. Depression 1 letter at a time. Stand up straight. Eyes forward, chin up. That's present. Unless you got to get down in a 3-point stance and kill. Opposite of addiction is not sobriety. That's the second life hack. It's connectedness. So when the guy's 17 years in, 4 deployments, 7 deployments, 3 marriages, gets tapped in the nuts and categorically, you got to get creative. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? Get tried by whatever, then carried by whatever. You know what I mean? Like, depending on the state law, since I'm a lawyer, right? But the opposite of sobriety is connectedness. So commanders, why not fucking give them something to connect to besides barracks with video games and whatever? Isolation, toxic relationships, financial stress. And then 5 savers acronyms: silence, affirmations, visualizations, exercise, reading, scribing. From book by Hal Elrod, Miracle Morning. Execute 10 minutes at a time. That's 1 hour. Wake up, brush your teeth, drink some water, knock out savers acronym. Then read the book 4 Agreements. Predates religion.
Oh, the old Toltecs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that book. That's a good one. That's right, buddy. In a book. Yeah. Yeah.
And like, hey, be surgical in your speech. Do your fucking best. And then like the infantry, like, yeah, kill. Bring everybody home. And then service and support. Ask your team for help. That's what Son did. That's all we did. Son, TKI's son, literally asked for help. I asked the nonprofit for help. They hooked it up. We worked out a deal. We figured it out. What did we have to do? And then I asked my platoon sergeant for help. Afghanistan type, Justin Miller, now rocking UGA as the agriculture veteran, you know, in between mental health, veterans, and resources. And then I asked other people like Sniper, now Apache test pilot, Alan Glasgow, helping from afar, Captain America himself, Jason Pomeroy, command and signal. www.sunlabvet, Facebook, TKISSON, Instagram, TKISSON, LinkedIn, Earl Porter, if you got to sue me. Remember, our goal is to raise awareness for veteran mental health and resources for those in need. And those White Star families, not Gold Stars. I was so insulted when I found that out. Those White Star families left behind. Phase 1 was southbound winter through hike, intended to raise $1 million. Didn't make it, but we saved a life. No bullshit. Documentary form next. And the goal was to pass it out to 22 different entities. But like phase 2, we're just going to keep it going. I'm going to announce it on 9/11. All right. That's our 1-year birthday. Phase 3, then I'm going to try to do a capital call with all those people who benefit from veterans, but fail to yet adequately influence or enable others to the fight in phase 4. Building Wakanda for veteran mental health and helping to educate anyone who likes what I've said so far to the idea, but they don't know what Wakanda for veteran mental health could feel like. I don't know what it looks like yet, but I know what it could feel like.
Embrace the ambiguity.
Yeah. If you don't like me, like
Yeah.
Greg Washington.
Right.
Kenneth Kuhn, no ambiguity. 1,800 suicidal interdictions, positive. 1,800, he gives out a cell phone. Like those people, like this podcast. If you fuck me, help a vet. Help a vet, because if we help a vet and we all agree that's the most inclusive American, we'll probably, fucking get along.
No, yeah, hey, Chico, yeah, we definitely, no, that's awesome. And then like the whole no bullshit, we saved the life. No, we know exactly what you're talking about. Once we started this program and our page and our community, right, we've saved, it's got to be over hundreds now. But like we see the posts like,
that's God's work.
Yeah, and the best ones we get is when a spouse, emails us or hits us up on a chat thread and says, "Hey, my husband or my wife is still here because of you," and in your page, no, a big shout out to our community, our family out there. One thing that actually triggered me, not the fake trigger that I do for the show that makes Dave all upset. All right, because people like that. But
yeah, we got to put that persona up.
Yeah, you got to. So that's the whole thing. But yeah. it was a good segue into why we need mental health. We need mental health treatment, because look at what we just did, right? So Buddy's screaming, I'm screaming, Dave wants to go back to Germany, who knows? But like so You know,
Oh,
no, but let me, like when you said that, you were federal and you couldn't do anything about it, right?
There's a misconception. Y'all
Right.
are busting that wide open.
Right, exactly. So that's the thing, and I want to touch which where you were right is, and I've said it a couple of shows in a row now. The difference between empathy and sympathy is the major difference. There's lots of differences, but the major one is that empathy leads to action, right? So sympathy just says, "Oh, I want to have a hug, high five," like sorry, yeah. Empathy leads to action. So when like I said, when we found out that this show went through a few legal reviews in my neck of the woods, right? Especially at the Sergeant Major's Academy. And it's like, but it's like they were like, well, they're not saying shit about the government, and it's like we're not, because it doesn't do any good to bash the government, right? Because I could go there and be like, hey, Biden sucks, Trump sucks. It doesn't matter, right? Like the VA, there are thousands of great employees at the VA. Right, the administration sucks.
Yeah.
The administration sucks.
It's like a sequestration.
Yes. Yeah, I guess the Republicans did that. Right.
Yeah.
So so like, no, I love getting into those type of like discussions, because it's like, well, if I bash the VA or if I bash the government, what does that do? Right. It doesn't.
Those are regular people.
Yeah. What does it do? Like,
calling them baby killers to go to war.
Yeah, exactly. But I know we definitely went outside the box and went full go at trying to help each other. And that's the thing is, like you kind of said, and I want you to kind of maybe elaborate, and this is where it's kind of leading to, but that drive that we had inside of us, it stemmed from us taking care of ourselves in the first place. So it was like, I want to get on with Dave, Joe, and Buddy and talk shit, and I feel good every Saturday after talking shit to them. And oh, by the way, let's share it.
Don't feel good this time.
No, I don't feel good about the technology aspect of this mission, but not the shit talking's still fun. But hey, at what point were you like, hey, this is actually helping me a lot more than I thought?
I got in it, so I left home early age, 14. First 7 years, fuck mental health, man. Like whatever, it's weird. And then and that was Quakers too. And now I'm like telling you, Quakers are dope. And it's just, I sat there, I got number 1 in the nation. I found out I was about to stay number 1 in the nation, graduate with a 3.9, even if I got zeros on all my finals. My adrenal glands went shot, which is, in my opinion, PTSD is a disjointed expectation of reality, right? So over time, one all-nighter a week to get some grades when you couldn't read a book before college, you might have some traumatic reaction. 2 weeks out of the box, state insurance, didn't know what I had. And then all of a sudden, I'm good. And then I went to the lady who I took 50, people to over the years. And here's what we do. We'll take care of people. But the principle that had to get beat in my head was treat yourself like you're responsible for yourself. And sat with her, I was like, so I hadn't talked to anybody about this yet. This is my first memory all the way to number 1 in the nation. It didn't add up. I never won a foot race. What it was I tried to be like Kevin Bernhardt, Justin Middleton, and these other guys that didn't even have a curse word. They were like walking Jesus Christ, nothing like me. But I tried to be like them. So second time around, I'm looking back on that and I'm saying, damn, that was all off fear and resentment and of childhood trauma. I can see hardship coming from a mile away. I saw the barrel of jet fuel fueling up, and I would just put it on a foundation of love, with no bullshit. I took that SAVERS acronym from Hal Elrod and went from 10 minutes for an hour in the mornings to I'm doing silence until I'm ready to talk. I'm doing affirmations until I'm ready to move on to visualizations. Man, I had a whole day. I got the Sattva, and then I eventually got to the point where it'd be 4 hours in the morning. And then eventually I could wrap my head around my perspective, you know what I mean? And communicate it and get feedback and it be objective and not so subjective.
Right.
Try not to make big decisions, right? Don't buy a big ass truck right after basic, huh? You know what I mean?
Well, Buddy actually has a lifted truck, and what do you call those again?
With a sweet set of truck nuts.
No, Buddy, what do you call those trucks again?
The baby diaper truck.
The baby diaper truck. Yeah.
A baby with a shitty ass full diaper walking around.
Yeah.
Hey, a big shout out to let.
It's half lifted.
Yeah. Hey, big shout out to let.
Open the tailgate, it falls out.
Yeah, to VTT specific Tita, big shout out to her, Lynn. She was just at in Jacksonville at the Margarita and Taco Festival. Like, how awesome is that?
Well, I'm sure
And
that felt like work for
yeah,
her.
and well, it was she literally hustled more than anybody on this fucking screen has. And she just did a
Y'all in
great.
Atlanta?
She just we don't have anybody in Atlanta, but we can get there.
We will.
Yeah, we
Got
will.
airport.
So yeah,
Got hey, put something out there for like 9/11 if you ain't got nothing. Somebody,
in Atlanta.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll
If
go.
you know how to shoot.
Yeah, we'll talk after. We got each other's numbers. We'll definitely hook something up for Atlanta. But yeah, hey, pleasure having you on. It was good to hear just your story, your perspective. And again, those of you watching, Boats is on. What's up,
What was
Boats?
the second paragraph again?
Chico, you also shattered 2 records. You also shattered 2 records. Words per minute by a guest, you broke that by 7.2. Words spoken by a guest in a significant period of time, you broke that by 47,000. So that was incredible.
Hey,
So yeah, you guys,
You did that quickly.
Thank me, thank Zach Brown.
yeah, you guys don't know you don't think Joe's doing anything when he's not talking. He's actually just counting your words. So
Joe's got it.
but no, hey.
Unpacking, the man was
This is
unpacking.
awesome.
And then again, hey, everybody watching, hey, thank you so much for watching. And you see that going across the screen, what Kyle's doing with the Ultimate Sacrifice Foundation. All right, we've already talked about it 100 times. We're going to keep talking about it. Right now, the fundraiser to get his family, who he's left for the last 30 days, out to San Diego. All right, they wanted $5,000. I think we're up to 1,800 on that out of that 5,000. Time's running out on that, so let's get Kyle's family out there to meet him in San Diego. That would be a really, really big help. And then you can see Text Warrior to 801-801 to donate. Right now, just like Chico's doing, there's a lot of nonprofits that are doing this mission, right? And it doesn't matter which one you give to. It doesn't matter which one you want to act with or do stuff with, right? Validate them. And like I said, empathy leads to action. So the little bit of the AAR comment here is he got some skin in the game. Chico decided to do something just like Kyle does for the Warrior Ride. And, Ultimate Sacrifice Foundation. Well, yeah, we can get into that discussion about moving to contact. We'll bring you on the 5th principle on that one. But,
common sense.
Yeah. So that was a fun one. But anyways, let's not get too jagged. If you have to go, otherwise we could keep this going because I wouldn't mind having Buddy continue his conversation. And then we can get even more triggered about stuff. But, just know, absolute pleasure. Go to son.vet, son.vet, right? And check it out, guys. And this is, another veteran putting skin in the game to help. And it's and I said this on the speech in Golden, Colorado. I said the speech in Golden, Colorado, where I was like, look, the VA is good for me, right? The VA helps me. I get everything I need from them. I get counseling from them. I get speech therapy from them, right? Like they meet my needs. But there are veterans out there where they don't fully meet their needs. All right? And that's where we come in. Don't blame the VA for that. That's all they can do, right? We can though. We can help. All right? There's other organizations out there like SOBA, right? There's other organizations like Stop Soldier Suicide. There's, like Sun.vet. Right? There's things we can do and get you to the resources that you need. And like Chico said before, it's like, mastering yourself. And then like we always say that too, the demon is your responsibility. All right. You need to get it out. And then together as a team, we can all crush it. So
change starts within.
Change starts within. Spot on, Dave. So and again, those of you watching for the first time, I actually love Dave. We just have fun with it, So
we all love each other.
I figure but
stays.
And then, but I'm gonna lead Buddy into this one. Just, and it kind of goes with Dave's point is, when somebody says, why do you need this type of weapon? First of all, none of your fucking business. All right. 2, okay, when people came to burn down the suburbs, right? Do you know what all those, even there was all different kinds of colors and people in those suburbs, like Buddy said, it's not just white people, okay? When they came out with fucking ARs and said, come on, bro, try me, all right? They went to the next fucking house, Okay, that's why. So it's like it's not just against the
Well-
government; it's against mobs, it's against corrupt police, it's against Why do you think all these terrible police situations in cities like the Ferguson report? Why do you think they disarm their citizens, right? So that they can police them the way they want to. Okay, that's just the way it is. Go ahead, buddy.
And I literally don't, real quick, buddy, I don't agree with anything you just said, Nick. I don't disagree.
I know, I know. Like I said, I was telling people that were new to the show that I'm just yelling at you for fun.
Just to lead into Buddy real quick. Mine was that the Constitution evolves and it changes after time. So like that one liner could turn into mobs, fucking riots, whatever. Because 100%, dude, I want my AR.
Well,
and I have an AR.
It doesn't change. It's left vague.
It's left vague. It should
on purpose.
like we adapt after time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, people also make the argument that that when the founding fathers wrote the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights, that they didn't know about AR-15s, AK-47s, rocket launchers.
Right.
tanks.
I've heard that argument. Yep.
Yep. They also didn't know about cell phones, wiretaps, internet, all that stuff. Does that
Why is
mean
that, though?
Does that mean
Pornhub.
Does that mean that the illegal search and seizure,
OnlyFans. Yeah.
that the Fifth Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the First Amendment, all of those are canceled also because the forefathers could not have known about the internet wiretaps,
Of course.
drones, or any other way that a police officer or military can illegally search your house without being in your house.
Right.
No, it doesn't. It's left vague for a reason. And there's also a point that I heard the other day, especially when talking about this school shooting, and it's a pretty interesting thing to think about. I have a 13-year-old who's in school, and every year he goes through active shooter drills.
Yeah, my kids do too. Yeah.
Do they? Yeah, they probably have for the last probably 5-10 years almost, ever since. Well, they started them during like after Columbine, but then they really got into it in the last like 5 years. Well, what do all of these school shooters recently have in common? They're all 18, 19, 20 years old, which means that they were all active participants in active shooter drills, which means they know how to defeat active shooter drills because they were trained in exactly what to do and what not to do. They were also trained to if somebody calls out, don't answer them because it could be the shooter. They know what's going on in the classroom. They know what all of the students are doing because they've been through the training. It's very easy for any of us to become an insurgent, right? Because we've seen what insurgents do and how they operate. So we can operate the same way.
Right.
Yeah, and then it's publicized in the media so much. Like when people jump off like, high risers and stuff, they get closed down. I don't know if you guys know that, but I'm pretty sure they get closed down for a couple of days because when you show it on the media, person just committed suicide. It actually, to other people that are watching that are kind of like on the cusp of maybe doing it, they follow suit. So then you show these school shootings all the time. It's plastered all over the news. You got these psychotic kids that are on medication and shit. They're like, oh shit, yeah, I'm gonna fucking do it, And people.
Yeah, Dave said that earlier. Dave said that earlier. Yeah.
Dave, you said a mouthful earlier when you said something about big pharma. You know what the other commonality between I'm saying almost every because the last time I checked it was every, but I don't know about this newest one. You know what?
Yeah, I don't know about
commonality in almost every one of these mass shooters is?
Male?
No, they're all no, not that they're male because not
They
all
are
mass
all
shooters are
most.
male.
I don't think we've
But
had
most
any
of them
female
are
ones.
predominantly are.
That's because women don't know how to use guns yet. Science.
Oh, that could
White
be genetic.
males.
Yeah.
Diversity
Not
inclusion
true.
day. White
No.
males.
Nope.
Nope. The last shooter was not white.
That's actually not true though.
No.
But
Anyway, buddy.
I mean, predominantly, yes. but not
Predominantly.
all.
And then all the shooters in cities that don't get reported are usually not white.
No, almost 100%. They're all on psychotic drugs.
Yes.
They're all on antipsychotic
Oh,
drugs.
wow. Sleeper.
Every single fucking one of them are all on fucking medications.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every fucking
Which
one
has a
of them.
consequence each one you take.
Which was the kid that went to the movie theater and shot up the movie theater?
In Colorado.
Like, yeah, like
Also,
his mom knew he was on fucking meds and he didn't buy that gun.
Nope.
He actually got it from his parents.
Same
So,
with
like,
Sandy Hook.
I think like there should be something there too. Like if you're a parent and you have a gun, and again, not to get into the whole, but like, and you have a fucked up kid at the house, maybe fucking lock that shit away. Like there should be a punishment to an extent. Like teach your kids, educate them. Like I can leave my guns out if I want to.
Dude,
Well,
why
Tyler
don't we
and
do
Haley,
training? Why
you
can't
know,
you do training on how to keep your finger off the safety and like
Correct.
have a vet teach you?
Tyler shot
You know what I'm saying?
shot my AR when he was 4. Like 4 years old, and some of my buddies were like, "Dude, you're letting your fucking 4-year-old." Well, guess what? He knows not to fucking touch
And-
that shit. But he also knows how to use it. you
Remember,
know?
AR stands for automatic rifle.
Yeah, it's a military style
Actually,
grade
Assault
weapon.
rifle.
It
So
stands
it's
for
what it's.
Armalite, but
Yeah.
whatever.
No, it doesn't. Don't start that shit. No, no, it stands for
Would you suggest
assault
that the parents,
rifle.
like who leave that shit out there like that? Like there should be like.
Don't operate by fear. Fuck fear.
No.
Yeah, what was it? What was the? It was two
You know what
shooting.
I would
Two
suggest?
shootings ago, those parents are getting targeted. They're getting after in court. Like there's a lot of civil cases against them.
Are
Yep.
they? Like I never see that.
But that doesn't fit the narrative because that actually addresses the problem, right? That addresses so it doesn't get out in the media because they're actually going after the real cause of this. Like these parents are fucking idiots, you know, and they had these
That's just
so
the weapon though.
exactly.
What about the guy that drove the car through the parade and killed a bunch of people? Did we ban?
In my brother's hometown,
Yeah,
you know, like yeah, and
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying
It's not
ban
the-
guns. Like,
Yeah,
I have
really,
guns,
uh,
you know.
What about the person that owned the car? If it was his parents' car and he stole their car and ran off,
Yeah,
They didn't lock
that's a
their
good one. Yeah, I
they
don't
didn't
know how to
lock
answer
their
that.
keys up. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, the reason that everybody gets befuddled, you can write that down.
But then you'd have to compare. You'd have to also, buddy. Your argument would be kind of.
You don't even know my argument yet. My
Well, no, real
argument
quick,
is that the
back to the
person
car
that
thing.
Should be held responsible is the person that does the bad thing.
Back to the car thing, though.
A hate crime?
It
They
should.
did make it illegal.
Let's talk
Why
about
is the car
incidences,
thing?
right?
Yeah, it
Let's talk
should have
about
been.
incidences, right? Like
was a
mass
hate crime.
shootings
Yeah.
happen way more than a dude
Even-
taking a
even
car
if
and
not-
riding into a crowd of people to
even
kill
if
them. You
not.
know, so I don't know.
No.
I just feel that, like Nick said, the parents
Not
do
true.
catch heat in court, which is cool.
That's
I did
not
not
true.
know that. Like
They
make
catch it on the
cases.
civil side. So again,
And
the
they need to. They
yeah,
need
and
to.
the
Ban the why. Ban
Yeah.
the why.
yeah,
Ban
it's
the why.
like what frustrated me about the Waukesha thing is like my brother lives there, my friends are from there in Wisconsin, and my brother was taking my goddaughter to that, and and she was acting up, so he turned around, right, and didn't take her there, and he was going to meet up with another friend of mine whose son was there, 1-year-old, 2-year-old son, 1-year-old at the time, no 2, yeah 2, excuse me, and that truck hit those grannies right in front of that kid. And my buddy pulled his kid out of that street so that truck come down, right? And it's like, but there's a point to that story that they showed for a minute on the news and then it got away because it was too nice of a story,
Well,
kind
it
of in the
didn't meet their
situation.
narrative.
No,
It
exactly.
wasn't- it
So
wasn't
when that guy, that criminal, that murderer who did that, right? He then fled to a house, right? And he's a black guy. Goes on the porch, and what is the white guy in Waukesha? What is? Yeah, they're like, "Hey, are you hungry, man? You want to come in?" Right? That's what the white guy in Waukesha did, right, to the black guy, because that's what goes back to Buddy's point in the beginning. Actually, the majority of Americans are very respectful to each other, right? There's a lot of dumb shits out there because that's
It's all about instilling
but
fear,
that's
bro.
that's what freedom breeds. Freedom breeds the ability to be retarded. Okay, like it does.
You know what
It
breeds
does.
that, Nick?
And
Well, hold on. I think you're right, but here's the thing. You know what I think has a bigger effect on that? For how long have we coddled the weak, the indigent, and the fucking people like to say that the world is broken down into sheep and sheepdogs and wolves, right? I think that you can make the argument that the world is actually broken down into producers and consumers. And at some point, when the consumers look down upon and treat the producers like shit, the producers are going to get tired of it. And like LA, San Francisco, New York, Chicago, Austin, Dallas, they use that term that it was used on me in SEER school. You don't even know how to produce your own shit yet. Not figurative shit, literal poop. You don't even know how to make a poop. You can't hunt. You can't plant food. You can't harvest food. You can't can food. You can't do any of that.
Yeah, I agree.
When it comes down to it, if the majority of America, the guys that own weapons, the people in the Midwest, the rural Americans, that all of the people in the urban communities look down upon because we're stupid and we aren't as socially fucking don't have the social acumen as they do.
You're not educated.
And we're not as quote unquote educated as they are. They continually look down upon those people. When those people get tired of being looked down upon and go, you know what? Fine. I'm going to make potatoes for the people in my little community. Everyone else can go fuck themselves. Make your own fucking potatoes. People in New York can't sustain themselves.
Oh, I agree.
If fucking truck drivers decide that they are no longer going to drive into fucking
Your mic went out, Chico.
any of those places. Oh. Yeah, if they decide that they're not going to go into those places,
Still muted.
Guess who's fucked? It's not going to be. It's not going to be the people in Middle America. It's going to be the people in all of those big cities who keep thinking that they can push their policies on the rest of the United States. It's not going to be a good look. Have fun trying to fucking fight for the resources that you have in fucking your big city.
No, yep.
And when you do, what are you going to do it with? Because you're going to do it with something.
Chapter 1 of Buddy's survival guide.
It's not going to be an AR-15. Oh, chapter 1, page 1 of my survival guide.
Yeah.
I don't need enough food.
Yeah.
I don't need enough ammo to survive the entire apocalypse.
Nick, I still got MREs.
I need enough food and ammo
I'm just kidding.
to get your food and ammo, and I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to fucking whether my family's gonna survive,
Oh yeah,
or you're gonna survive, we gonna eat.
Yeah,
that's why you run to like Rite Aid or CVS. That's the first thing you go.
Yeah, you
don't go to fucking Walmart and say you grab medicine and shit.
The first place you go is the woods.
It's a pet store.
Get some dogs.
The first place you should go is the pet store because they have antibiotics. They've got pet food.
Oh, the pet store.
Food
huh?
you can eat.
You can eat it, yeah.
Pet food you can use for bait. Like you go to the fucking food because everybody else is running to Walmart.
You just got SF, Dave.
Well, CVS.
You just
CVS.
no. I said you just got SF'd. Yeah, he just SF'd you.
Yeah.
You know that fish antibiotics and regular antibiotics are the same thing. You just have to up the doses for your body weight, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Yeah, going back to the founding fathers, like we talked about before too.
That's gangster, buddy.
It's like no, it's awesome. Going back to the founding fathers is that wise guy, Benjamin Franklin. When he said if you sacrifice freedom for security, you're gonna lose both. Okay, so like you're gonna lose both. All right, and then and kind of like what we were doing yelling earlier, I laugh because when I'm in a serious mood, I usually don't talk that much when I'm serious. All right, because I want to hear what everybody has to say. And that's another point is when everybody's screaming and yelling like we were earlier, but when you watch it happen on TV with our stupid politicians. Yeah, you were yelling too, buddy. Joe was the only silent one, so he's obviously the smartest.
I was just trying to get you to be quiet.
Yeah. Had to be the cooler head. All right, that's another thing. You read Benjamin Franklin's autobiography. He says that he goes, they were asking him to step in and get into this argument. One of the second Congress, and he was like, well, no, they're doing their job. They're yelling because they have to yell. They're yelling because it makes it look like they're standing up for their people. He's like, I'll wait till they're both finished because they're right about something. They're also wrong about something. So I'm going to get what's right about this guy. I'm going to get what's right from this guy. And then I'm going to step in and say, hey, why don't we do both of those things? Right. So again, a lot of times, like we always talk about on the shows, you need to take a step back when they start firing out these talking points about, gun control or abortion or, whatever. Take a step back. Right. Like try to hear what some of the smart people are saying. Right. Try to hear what some of the people from the Midwest, from the rural areas are saying, because that's all. They're also American. Right. Like, yeah. Like,
the funny thing about those people from rural America is a lot of people know the theory.
Their trucks.
On why something should. They know the theory on why something should work. They know physics. They know all that stuff. The people in rural America, you can find some of the slowest talking, most southern draw dude. You know what? I'm gonna say it. My cousin Bubba is the would be a stereotypical.
Is his name really
Southern
Bubba?
dude.
Bubba.
Yeah. Well,
I love
it's not, but that's what everybody calls him. Is
well,
Bubba.
yeah.
But he's a stereotypical Southern dude. But I have never met a more common sense, smart, know how to make stuff out of nothing MacGyver in my entire damn life.
That's also
than
the dude
Bubba
that's
Beckwith.
like always looking at my northern ass going like, why don't you calm down, man? There's plenty here to fix it.
Yeah.
We'll make something out of it. We'll make it work. It's kind of like when we're overseas and our interpreter comes up to us and says, you guys want to have turkey tonight? There's turkeys over there. And we're like, okay, well, those things are still clucking. And he's like, yeah, that doesn't matter. You got
did
money.
that shit in Barcuba. Yeah.
So here we are walking. Here we are walking a turkey with a 550 cord girth hitched to my wrist and girth hitched to his neck, walking him to his death. Interpreter stops, grabs 2 rocks, pulls a grill grate out of his backpack, gets some straw, makes a fire, says a prayer, whacks his neck, pulls the feathers out. Like 2 hours later, we were eating the best turkey.
Shout out to Lowy. Shout out to Lowy.
That's country boy for you right there.
Yeah, well, they
Like,
know
we'll
how
make
to
it
make
work.
things work.
We're gonna eat.
Like I said, they understand. Like I said, like I used Bubba as an incident, and I'm going to use a story from old Bubba. Like I have an uncle who is a doctor. He's a legitimate lab. Like he studies AIDS research, like a bunch of stuff. If you talk to him, he's the smartest human on the face of the planet. This dude had to have a well at his house, and he put this giant pipe in the well and couldn't understand why he wasn't getting any water out of the well. Well, Bubba came over, just graduated high school. Bubba looks down the well and goes, well, you're trying to pull too much volume out of that pipe. You got to make a smaller pipe because you don't have the pump isn't big enough to pull that much weight of water out because the volume is too much. Like this is a doctor, a learned person with
learned.
Yeah. And he can't figure out the simple solution to the problem. And then, a guy with common sense that has worked on things and has, practiced things through experience.
Hashtag fifth principle.
Can't look at it for 2 seconds and go, yeah, the volume's too
Oh,
much.
let's
You need
do
to put
it.
a smaller pipe in there. You know what I mean? Like, I think people have gotten too smart for their own damn good, and they don't understand that knowing how things work is different than knowing how things should work.
Correct. So and then there's that book that's popular in academia now. And again, I do have to caveat every time Buddy says this because he's not wrong, right? But I do have to caveat just so that. But don't go through life thinking that you shouldn't educate yourself. Because even Buddy, his old Southern ass, hick from Alabama, he's in college right now. All right. So it's like you still need to educate yourself. Because it goes back to the old warrior saying that it's impossible to be peaceful, all right, if you don't know how to create war. Right? Mm-hmm. You're not peaceful if you don't know how to create war in the first place. Right? So you're a thing. Right? You can't do anything. You can't stand up for yourself. You're never going to be a warrior. Right? Same thing goes with academia. Right?
Are you saying you got to go to college to educate yourself, or can you?
No. It's that, but same thing. Like you can get a reading list off of Yale, right, for a class, and read those books. Right? I always caveat for the people that are listening, saying don't take Buddy the wrong way there. Like he's 100% right with his butt with Bubba, but again, it also helps to understand why the thing works that way, right? It does help. So don't just think that we don't educate ourselves, right? We still do that, right? Like I said, Buddy's in college, so it's a great point.
When you combine common sense and education, that's how all of that. How do you think we got to the moon?
It's good that you mentioned combining the two.
Yeah, how do you think we got to the moon? We had a bunch of
nothing against you officers, sir. You educated guys, but when it comes to the common sense,
you had a bunch of abacus flipping gee-whiz mathematicians, and then you had a bunch of like common sense rocketeer people that came together and sent people to the moon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that didn't happen by accident. And here's the thing:
they were all German scientists.
Let's look at technology and our evolving forward in a history.
You're
time,
Italian, Dave.
right? The people back in the 20s and 30s, there were very few people that went to college. They went to technical schools. They learned how to do jobs. Very few people went to college. As we have switched to more people going to college and less people going to technical schools, what advances have we really made in the last 20 years, other than TikTok and Snapchat?
Tesla.
I think, buddy. I think in the last 20 years,
Rocket ships that look like penises, buddy. Okay.
Yeah. Well, those rocket ships were all developed from technology that's 100 years old almost.
Yeah.
And then again, we also don't know what technology is. We
Even
really have,
you
so.
talk about Tesla, like Elon Musk. There's a reason the company's called Tesla. When was Tesla alive?
Yeah.
Long
time ago.
Yeah. And he's the guy that was coming up with electricity.
No, I like that. I like that Facebook meme that says, in 2022 we're gonna have flying cars. Instead, we got hookers with neon lights in their crotches so that they go blue when they're walking around. It's like, hey, well, it's like I thought we were supposed to have flying cars by now. Instead, we just say, turn my pussy. Hey,
I'm pretty sure though the last 20 years have been the biggest spike in technology.
It's like
the 2000. I don't.
What area?
Oh, here we go.
Dude,
There we go.
I'm gonna Google it right
Yeah,
now.
we're gonna. Yeah, AI, artificial intelligence, virtual reality.
Blockchain.
Yeah, blockchain technology. Yep, for sure. Brand fucking new. Brand fucking new.
Hold on. You're gonna compare the technology of blockchain, AI, and Tesla with the technology of riding horses in 1903 and flying in jet aircraft.
No, but frequency though.
In 1903, they also built dams and hydraulic pressure stuff things in 1903. That they weren't just riding horses, buddy. But
1945 to 71 was the golden age.
This brings back that other argument about the aliens one, is that it's really narcissist to think that our generation or your generation is the only one that could have thought of something intelligent, right? So like 2,000 years ago, there were still smart fucking people running around, right? Like there was a bunch of bubbas walking around going, hey, let's do that. Let's do that. And they might have got inspired by aliens. We talk about this all the time. Who knows? But there was some smart dudes walking around. And I like how you brought up the Toltecs, the 4 agreements, right? For those of you who don't understand what that is, the old Mexican wise men, right? And they when the Spanish came, they had to go hide off in the mountains and stuff like that because they're gonna get their heads chopped off, religion. But so like they said that if you want it, and this is important for veterans, and it's important for anybody struggling with any type of mental health. All right, if you actually take an honest look at yourself, at the agreements that you've made in your life. Okay, you are going to surround yourself with people with similar agreements. And in order for you to break that mold, to break that agreement, you got to cut away from it. Right? You got to start surrounding yourself with who you actually want to be. And I think that book does a really good job of saying, hey, some people are really happy being that way. So like don't try to change them. Like they like
change my range of school.
Real quick, Google 2010 AI, commerce, blockchains, virtual reality, all that stuff. So it's saying that's like the height of like the technology in the last like 20, 30 years. 2010.
Hey, Joe, how are we doing on the fights?
But anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt, Nick.
Are still
You're fine.
But we.
Chico, we do a UFC fight show on Fridays.
I missed the prelims, so we're still in one, but it's got baseball involved.
We got baseball involved. There you go. There's.
I had to scramble. I didn't have a whole lot of fights left. I didn't know the fucking prelim started at 1.
Yeah,
also, the space program in the last 20 years has evolved.
All right, Jets.
To what?
I'm not gonna read this whole article. I'm just basing off of like what these universities.
But Dave, Buddy's point is saying that
I'm pretty sure it has evolved to a lot. I mean, we're fucking about to go to Mars in 6-7 years.
Buddy's point is that we've stopped being able. We stopped building things, and we just started like going to college. But then what I always tell people is, again, it's the narrative that it's the narrative that the media also sells, that a plumber's not educated. Okay, a plumber is extremely educated in plumbing. Okay, just like you're extremely educated in law, right? Like you're like he or she is still educated. They went to school. They went to school to learn it. And it's like, oh, what kind of skills does an infantryman have leaving the army?
It's all about
I don't
money, too,
know,
with the colleges and
lots
shit.
of skills.
Management and chaos.
Exactly, lots of management. How about how to operate? Just even 4 people. Like I can not necessarily lead them, just operate them. Like
Or
I got
promulgate law in real time.
right. Like these are
With ethical, legal, and moral.
right. These are things that you learn in the infantry much faster than other people in the DoD because you're actually at 19 years old. You're in charge of 3 people.
Doing it. Do it. Shoot or
Like,
no shoot.
yeah, right. And then I don't have to turn around and ask. That was the most beautiful thing in combat
Ooh.
is when I'm sitting there going, I know exactly what I'm supposed to shoot at. I know where to shoot. I know how to shoot. And I don't have to turn around and be like, hey, should I kill that guy? It's like, no, it's fucking on. And then we assault and we go. Right. That's why. And I'll say this
Or
to
the baby with a bomb on it. Or the baby with a bomb on it.
I'll say it to
My favorite was always, is this motherfucker really shooting at me?
yeah, exactly.
That's stupid.
Yeah, that's stupid. This guy.
He's
this-
way too far away to make this
Yeah.
shot, but I'm not.
Yeah, my favorite thing in combat was I tell my guys, I go, hey, look, all right, keep your heads up. And I was like, because when you're in these urban environments, you get shot at all day and have no idea where it comes from. Right? Like you want to talk about PTSD, get cracked at all the time and have no fucking idea where it's coming from. Right? And the way it echoes through the alleyways, you're running through the wrong alleyways. The first time we got ambushed, Dave was like, he left, he quit. So like, no, it was the birth of his son. But so
which I missed.
yeah, which you missed.
Presence in all those moments.
Yeah.
So all we got to do is what we did there. Now to yourself, be responsible for yourself.
Right.
The same shit you did to go to war. Do it for yourself now.
Yep.
Love yourself first before anything.
Yep.
Oxygen mask.
Yep.
Plain simple.
No, and so like,
Hey guys, I gotta bounce.
bye, buddy.
I'm sorry. Gotta get
No,
off.
see, like
I'll talk to you later.
I love it how Chico was worried about the time. He was texting me talking about the time, and I was like,
Buddy, you got to do the AAR before you
and
bounce.
do they? No, we already kind of did it, but
I guess we
Yeah.
did, yeah.
We already did it.
yeah, but buddy, no, I was saying Chico was like, how much time do we have? I'm like, you're gonna see how much fun you're gonna have on the show. Like, you just want to stay on it. Yeah.
That's the most authentic thing I've done.
Unless
Yeah.
you absolutely have to go because you made a plan for anyway. Whatever. I gotta go watch Top Gun 1 and 2.
Take care of yourself.
tonight.
1 and 2. 1 and 2. See you later, bud.
1 and 2. Oh, it's a Top Gun night, and I gotta go.
Very nice. Very nice.
Anyway,
But
I'll holler at you guys later, Chico. It was great to
Mahalo.
meet you. Good luck. And,
But-
and have fun in the Appalachian.
no, he already did it.
I thought he was doing it again.
He
Doing
might.
it again.
I got to make up the Smokies. Winter Storm Izzy. I wasn't about that life anymore. My high deductible health plan was too high, man.
That's awesome.
I got to go make up the Smokies.
No. All right, guys. I think we got Dave. I think we could wrap it up.
We're good, yeah.
I think we
was
wrap
gonna
it
give
up.
Chico the last words, man.
Yeah, yep.
Chico, again, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Let's let you close it out with your links one more time, your
Okay.
websites, and then yeah, dude, it was a fucking
Okay.
pleasure.
Love
Yeah.
it. www.sun.vet, transmuting hardship into like another person's changed perspective, yo. So like perception is reality, like everyone said. And we admit now that perspective shapes perception. So like let's help change people's perspective about whatever they're going through so we can get their reality, get the plumber and the dude, let's go to Mars in like what, 3 years maybe? Like I
Yeah.
don't care. And get along.
Boom, love it, man. Again, it was a pleasure. Let's stay connected. You can stay
Thanks,
on after
Ross.
we go offline here. And then to everybody that's watching, go to VeteranTrashTalk.com. Check out all of our websites. Go to GruntWorksClothing.com. Check out our awesome merch. I am wearing the Media is the Virus, one of my favorite shirts. Okay, that's a whole nother conspiracy, right? And,
Not really.
Yeah, it's pretty much the truth. But anyhow, we'll catch you guys next Saturday. Thanks for tuning in. Baseman VTT out.